Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Girl. And today's guest is Suzanna Jamieson, who is a holistic, intuitive mentor, frequency healer, and a naturopathic doctor. And I just absolutely loved learning from her because it's on a completely different dimension on what I have learned before. And I can't wait for you to hear this episode. So let's go say hi to Suzanna.
You strive to keep your family healthy, bosses and employees happy, and the home life smooth. But now it's time to focus on you. This is High Energy Girl, a fun show focused on helping you get healthier and feel amazing. It's time to ditch the excuses and start living your best life. Here's your guide to help you increase your energy and empower your life. Health coach and personal trainer, Tracy Gluhite.
I'm super excited to announce that my brand new program, the High Energy Reset, is live. Our new group just started today, and I'm super excited to see their results. So you're asking, what is the High Energy Reset? Well, it is a great way for women to boost energy, burn fat, banish brain fog, and feel amazing, all the while starting to balance out those hormones. Many participants lose approximately 10 pounds during the challenge, and there's awesome prizes. So please visit highenergyreset.com today. And don't forget to join our Facebook group, High Energy Girls. That way we can be in contact and chat every day. Hey, Suzanna, thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, hi, Tracy. Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, I'm excited to hear all of your wonderful wisdom and to inspire our listeners to understand kind of what you do and how you help people. So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. So my background is I'm a naturopathic doctor and a classical homeopath, intuitive holistic. Basically I've dedicated the past over 20 years, not only through my own healing path, but, acquiring various energy healing modalities and other modalities that are primarily focused around trauma healing. So I focus on PTSD, overcoming childhood trauma or any traumatic situations, mindset reframing, getting rid of self-sabotaging, limiting beliefs and such, and the way I'm approaching it is holistically in that I offer a combination of modalities that address all of you, like the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical, not just one. And that's why it's so much more efficient and effective than, for example, therapy. It really gets to the root cause of what happened to you or why you're in the place you are, and we're shifting you on that fundamental level. And basically for me, it's about life transformation, which means whatever you're taking away from working with me is yours for life, lastingly.
And you're a physician?
I'm a naturopathic doctor.
Okay, so that's considered a physician, right?
Yeah, some people do that. Although, if you ask a medical doctor, they won't like it. But the funny part is, you do actually, the exam is actually about the medical studies. The naturopathic part is actually an add-on. You have to do this extra on top of the medical studies.
How funny. It sounds a little ego, right? Like that they have that. I know what that's like.
It's totally fine. That's just how it is.
And where do you practice?
I mostly practice online. I do have a live weekend intensive coming up. So if people want to meet me in person, that's a perfect opportunity here in Ojai, California. I'm mostly in Ojai, California. Sometimes San Francisco, but mostly for right now in Ojai, California. But I like to travel, and I'm open to. I had practices in Africa, in Canada, in Germany. It's like I have clients all over the world, so I'm very flexible.
Oh, so fun! That's wonderful. So,
right.
What types of conditions do you find that most people come to see you about?
That's a great question, Tracy, and thank you so much for asking that. It's a lot of times the way it shows up for people is that they're lacking self-confidence, or they're playing small, they're holding back, or they don't know what their purpose is. Also, it comes combined with not being able to set healthy boundaries, finding themselves in, unhealthy relationships or unfulfilling relationships, basically lacking self-love. Knowing how to take care of yourself, knowing how to love yourself, and coming from a space of fullness versus emptiness, overgiving, self-sacrificing, not being able to say no. That is a lot what I'm seeing. And usually it ties back into something that we've taken away from childhood, where we, created a disconnect based on what we were, trained to believe about ourselves, like you're not good enough, or, doesn't matter what you're saying, or, get over your emotions, don't feel this, and all of these things. And it's basically stored in the subconscious, and through this patterning, that's how we're still showing up that way. And sometimes we wonder why we attract these people in our lives when we're so kind people, and we're in abusive relationships. It doesn't seem to make sense. But it's really like the own energy and where we are out of alignment with our truth and who we truly are in our essence.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
Yes, it is. I mean, and I'm just, scratching the surface here. I mean, if you work with me, you got to be ready to deep dive. I'm not doing superficial, and for me, it is about alignment. It is about truth. Absolutely, it is about self-love, and it is about being you, authentically, fearlessly, and unapologetically. So yeah, that's basically where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's very deep. So let's kind of like go back a little bit and break it down. So you're a naturopathic doctor. Mm-hmm. And how long have you been doing that? And like, did you start there, and how did you come to here? Because it seems like you must have done one and then let in, and it just kind of snowballed into where you're at now.
Right. Well, I started actually with, basically the energetic healing capacity that was already present since I'm 8. So I just didn't, obviously wasn't that aware of it. But then, after various careers, the first energetic healing situation for me started up in 1995. 19, what are we? Yeah, should be. Yeah, 23 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then at the time I was living in Germany, so in order for me to be able to practice any kind of, healing capacity, I needed the naturopathic doctorate in order to be able to do that. And that's why I started on those, on the medical exam and the prep work. I also studied psychology, at a university there, which didn't work for me. I worked in psychiatric cares as a volunteer, as a nurse in night shifts, also and then got more and more into other energetic healing modalities, distance healing, hands-on healing, Reiki. I mean, there isn't much I haven't done, honestly. And I'm not saying to boast. It's just because I was interested, I just kept exploring it. And for me to have a certificate on something is just showing that I was really interested in learning all there is about it. I didn't just want to read a book or dabble, and that's why I got certifications. I don't have them anywhere. I don't care. It's just for my own benefit,
right.
And so that's where I'm coming from with this. But it never stopped. I always had this curiosity about, learning more and what life is about and all of that. And then it got into the quantum healing, like the whole quantum physics and, even more distant healing and remote. And then I had my own experience. In 2016, I did extensive work in a men's prison, volunteering, and that was a wake-up call, and there was a traumatic experience for me. And so everything I had acquired, I was able to extricate myself out of that heavy-duty traumatic experience in very short time. Plus, life granted me with my own healing frequency. So I'm channeling actually a healing frequency that came through after that, which accelerates the healing process exponentially. It's a real gift, and it's like, it still amazes me when it comes through, but it's more like, I'm not under the illusion that I'm doing this. It's really something that is given through here, and it's just lovely to be able to facilitate that.
So how did you know that you had this gift when you were 8?
Well, at the time, I was actually able to put myself in trance. I didn't know that was what I was doing, but I was connecting with oneness at the time, and I can just kind of relate to it in terms of the state I was in, like the experience of what I experienced at that time. Plus, my mother had issues from stress, and so she always asked me to massage her. Like, she had like a blockage, and so I was able to pain relief, let's say, at a very young age. It started even before 8. In order to alleviate pain. So that it started very early, and also like being around others. But that's the first thing I remember, like, when I think it was also when I was 7 or 8, I read something about that you shouldn't be drinking anything whilst eating because it messes up your digestive juices. So I was teaching my whole family about nutrition.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So some of that teacher, or like, kind of giving others, sharing knowledge, let's say, was always there, if you wanted it or not.
Yeah. That way too.
So yeah.
I'm really into fitness, and this morning I was telling a girl in the gym, I'm like, instead of walking on the treadmill, you should really spend your time lifting weights.
There you go. Yeah, you can relate. Love it. Thank you.
Like, I'm only telling you this because I know you and I care about you, and this is just kind of a waste of your time.
Right.
Anyway, okay, so you said some other things that I want to dig a little bit deeper on. So is this gift, okay, is the energy, the healing abilities, all that stuff, is that something that only certain individuals can actually utilize as their thing, or is this something a person can develop?
Oh, okay, that's an interesting question. So, from my experience is that you get, like, it's being given to you, and I'm not saying that not anyone could experience that also. Personally, like, the possibility, I would say, is there for everyone, and my sense is that you have to maintain a certain energetic state to be able to be open to receive that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's not interested in spirituality at all, who's like, couch, TV, potato chips, beer, and that can be fine at times. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, if you're in a different space in your life and you're not open to finer energies, let's say, then it's not very likely that it's going to happen unless you're Eckhart Tolle or Byron Katie. But that's, so.
Okay.
Just,
because I see that there's like Reiki classes and people, that have that. Is that something that anybody who wants to kind of turn inward and work on themselves and work on that, is that something people can do, or is it something you need to have that little gift first?
I think Reiki is, it's a different level of energetic transmission, and basically this kind of, what you're doing with Reiki is holding loving intention for someone, basically, and anyone can do that, and you're focusing on moving this through your hands. So it's a bit more directed, so there's a direction to this whole thing. But as long as you can hold loving intention for someone, you're basically capable. Others, there's other modalities out there. Healing in America has also like healing hands. It's kind of the same thing. But it's a directed energy that is a love frequency, so that's pretty much the closest I can get to that. And anyone, in my experience, can give that, to themselves or others. And obviously it depends on their personal state in the moment, how much of that is available, and how focused they can, how much focus they can hold, if they get, and so, and just, normal humanity issues, let's just say, just being a human being. But then, other things like, for example, Dr. Eric Pearl with reconnection, these kind of frequencies. So basically it's an energetic intention you're holding, like the frequencies, like Dr. Eric Pearl has with the reconnection. That's a different story, and it's a bit similar with what I'm experiencing as, it's more like source essence coming through versus my energy field directing a heart energy. Does that make sense?
Let me see if I can summarize this for the listeners, because I kind of understand a little bit about this, but maybe the average person listening doesn't. So would you say that like Reiki is something that it would be more like a level 1, some skill that we can learn, that we need to intentionalize our focus on showing love and sending the energy to heal? And then what you have, the next level would be like your spiritual gift, that you're using the source energy that is empowering you to heal on a different level.
Yes. So yes, because it's and it's interesting. Just last week I offered actually 16 free just mini sessions for people, and it's instantaneous. It's like I had a person like from Europe basically then giving feedback, and people are welcome to check this out on my Facebook personal page. The feedback I got, fibromyalgia and whatnot, what was going on, like instant pain relief. And in a peace and calm. And I didn't even know what was going on for her, so it's, and it's really aligning with what is best for the person in that moment. And so I'm not even setting the intention other than basically I'm if I'm allowed, I'm scanning the person. I'm actually going into the energetic system, so it's a different approach. And then based on what I'm perceiving and, given that I have permission, I can actually, make adjustments. Let's put it that way. Or just, that's the best way I can describe it.
So I know somebody that I love very much that has anxiety. Can you do something like that with people with anxiety?
I can do instant relief for them in terms of, and that was part of the sessions too. Most feedback I got was like calmer, more centered, more, less anxiety. Like one beautiful, she was like, it's the first time I can breathe. I always have difficulties breathing. It's the first time I can breathe. Wow. And, and that's obviously, and I didn't know what was going on for her. So I just tuned into, I only get the complete name and the birth date of the person, and then I, basically work with energetically with what is there and what serves them best in the moment. And that's always the bigger picture. Like with Reiki, you have an intention of making something go away. For me, it's not necessarily about it, because I don't know the person's past. Maybe they need some more learning through whatever they're experiencing right now. And so maybe they would want, for example, like a pain relief. But what's really happening is an alignment in their innermost, so that they know what their next step is to get themselves out of the situation that has them in pain to begin with.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible. Like, I am going to hire you for me. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. And just so you know, we're only on question 1, so I need to speed up a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
This topic interests me so much. Yeah. There's a lady that's kind of local here in the South Bay that she's a medium. And when I first heard about her, I would not have believed anything. Right. But then my mother-in-law did this, she invited me to this thing that they had a party at a friend's house, and I met her, and I mean, this woman was just so in tune. It was just really bizarre. So it kind of made me change my perspective on things, that there's so much that we don't know in life,
Right.
And we don't know it until we know it. And then once we know it, we can't unknow it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, our minds will still try to, but it's just, at times, depending on, where we're at. So,
we want to be in denial or whatever.
Yeah.
So, Suzanna, what advice would you give your younger self, knowing all the amazing wisdom that you have, learned through the years? What advice would you give your younger self?
Basically, never stop trusting, never stop looking, never settle for less. Give your best at all times, live your highest potential, and go for it, no matter what. That's right.
Yeah, I like that go for it message.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, there's all this thing about positive affirmations and stuff, great, love it. Abraham Hicks, love it. But the thing is, the message that is often lost, it's like, you don't tune out on the Himalayas doing on for the rest of your life. And that could be beneficial or, insightful. But the thing is, like, in real life, you still got to take action.
Yes.
No one's going to do it for you. So it's like, yes, you get the support. And, in the way I work, it's like I hold tremendous space for my clients. And obviously with the energetic healing support, there's parts of it where you don't have to do anything. It's like, the energy work does the healing for you. And at the same time, you need to show up. If you want to transform your life, you've got to be, 200% in, 1,000%. It's like, that's just how it is,
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be difficult. It's very simple to work with me, and yet it does require your active participation.
Right, you can't just hope it. You got to do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. The good news, though, is like the way I work, and that's what I love about it. And in a way, like my advice would have been like find someone like me 20 years ago, because the thing is like in that combination and the way I lay it out or what I offer is that it becomes your second nature. It's like, what you're taking away from life is meaning the life transformation is yours. It's integrated. I'm about integration, not just giving you more knowledge, like more things to learn or read or whatever. It has to be embodied. It has to be physically integrated in order to have that kind of shift. But then it's yours.
And it's is it like in a subconscious so that you're not having to think about it? It's just subconscious.
Exactly. We're basically in a way like retraining, like your mind, your body, your emotional responses, but not like NLP, like putting something on top from the outside, but organically healing it from the inside.
Wow.
That's the difference.
Wow. This is so fascinating. I can't even tell you. So, but it's like a shortcut. So what I'm hearing from you is if you were to know, like give your advice that you would find somebody that does what you do 20 years ago to kind of give you a shortcut so that you would be where you are now, maybe quicker, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I have people come to me, Tracy, that, who've done 10, 20 years of therapy, and I myself at the time, initially, I did 5. It helped a little bit, but it didn't get me anywhere. I'm shifting people's lives and like complete life, relationship, self-love, self-care, empowerment, self-confidence, health, sexuality, whatever it is. It's like work, career, purpose in 12 weeks.
Wow. That's awesome. And what would be your claim to fame? Like, what do you think that if somebody was to write, 1 or 2 sentences about you, what would be your claim to fame?
2 sentences.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be that specific, but I'm just saying, like, what are you most known for?
First, like, I think what my senses of the feedback I'm getting, the way I show up with my clients, it's like you show up 1,000%, I'm right there with you, like all the way. It's like I'm right by your side all through this process. It's like totally with you. And also the thing is like, although it's a program platform, I work completely individually with each one of my clients. It's completely catered towards your particular life circumstances and where you are in life. It's completely individual.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite accomplishment?
Oh, goodness. It's like, all of my clients in a way, in my experience, have, gotten mind-blowing results. And favorite accomplishment. It's just, for me, it's so heart-opening to see this kind of transformation, to be able to facilitate that and to have this, to create these kind of relationships, this kind of trust, for people to take this kind of leap of faith towards their new life. It's just very moving for me to see this kind of transformation.
How long have you been doing that, Suzanna? How long have you been working with individuals in this capacity?
Over 20 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously it's gotten, more refined and, like the more intense work I'm offering right now, that's pretty much developed over the past 2 years. Out of that, also like it's part of what you can read in my book, The Healing Power and Finding Your Innocence, Balboa Press. I'm giving some insights about that, where it's, it is deep work, Tracy. It is about forgiveness. It is about unconditional love. And, if you can operate out of that space of I love, not you, not whatever, but just I love, you're showing up from a very different place.
Wow. I can't wait to learn more about this from you. Like, check out all your stuff. So you have a resource, right, that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah. It's a gift I created, and since you're about energy management, and I so love what you're doing, Tracy, I'm so appreciative of you offering people all these, insightful podcasts and support. Absolutely love it. And so, since this is about energy, I have created recently the Ultimate You Daily Energy Management Checklist. So where you can kind of go through 12 points, each day and see that you be mindful of them and, check if you have taken care of them to kind of make sure that you move through your day as effectively, efficiently, and connected as possible.
Oh, awesome. So can we have a link for that in the show notes?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to give you the link, and, please feel free to share. Absolutely.
Thank you. And then one thing of advice would you like to leave the listeners with that they can start applying to their lives today?
If you want to see change, don't wait. Don't wait a second. Don't think you're going to start tomorrow or next week or whenever. Now. It's always only now. Anything happens always only now. If you're clear, something is off, you're out of alignment, something needs to shift, it's now.
Yeah, I believe that. And that's exactly what I need to do right now. I want to get with you, and it's a long story, which I'll go over later, but
yeah.
I was talking to one of my friends. I'm like, I need like a chakra clearing. I'm like stuck. And I'm like, I need something. What? And then all of a sudden I talk to you today, and it's like, okay, somebody's pointing me in the right direction. So I just need to trust that. And
right. Just, you're welcome to get on my calendar and for a complimentary session. And I'm happy to offer that to whoever resonates with what they were hearing on this podcast here. So go on my website to appointments and just book a complimentary session with me. It's totally non-obligation. It's about finding out where you're at, what's working, what's not working, where you want to be, and if you're fit to work. And if not, usually have plenty I can recommend for you that would be a great next step for you to take. So it's like a win-win on all accounts.
Awesome.
You're not going to waste your time. So
yeah. Well, I wouldn't imagine that anyways. You have this great spirit about you, and I want to end with our fun little speed round. What we have is just like we've talked a lot about, how you're a healer and what you can do, but I kind of like to learn more about you as a person, kind of a fun little speed round thing. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So what is your favorite healthiest habit?
Oh my gosh. I'm at the gym twice a day.
Whoa, what are you doing at the gym twice a day?
I'm like, morning is an hour cardio and my yoga routine, and that is a heart opening practice actually. And then afternoon is another round of cardio, usually between 40 to an hour, depending of if I do strengthening exercises twice a week or just want some more cardio. And for me that is energy management.
Is that your stress relief?
You know, I don't. Yeah, in a way, I wouldn't even call it that it's stress. That's what I'm saying. It's energy management, okay. And it at the same time, I want you to hear me, Tracy. It's not rigid. If my body tells me I don't want to exercise this afternoon, I'm not going to go. You see what I'm saying? It's like I might just go for a walk or just get some fresh air or do something else. But it's pretty much what my body wants, most of the time. But if it doesn't, that's fine too. So there's no rigidity about this.
Yeah.
It's always, checking in with what feels good in the moment. That's where I'm coming from with this.
Oh, yeah, I hear what you're saying. And you know what? To me, the gym is my happy place. People say, how can you get up so early? It's like, because I know I'm going to be happier.
Right. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite quote, Suzanna?
A favorite quote?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Let's see. Do I have a favorite quote?
I'm a big quote person. I absolutely love quotes. I chew on one.
Okay. Probably, the Nike one. Just do it.
Oh, yeah, you said that earlier. Okay, so you're in alignment.
Just do it.
And what are you most grateful for?
Life. Just life, period.
Just being alive. And your favorite food?
Seaweed and kale.
Oh, boy. Never heard that one before.
I mean, either, seaweed, just all kinds of seaweeds, and kale. I just love kale and kale chips.
Oh, yeah, I like making kale chips.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite book?
Oh, gosh, there's so many.
The first one that comes to your head.
Right now, Kyle C's I Hope I Screw This Up.
There's
also Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural.
Oh, okay, that would be interesting.
And the one before is getting rid of the habit of being yourself or something like that. That's also Dr. Joe Dispenza, so that's good. Then David Data, The Way of the Superior Man, is brilliant in terms of polarity in relationships. Then my book, of course, The Healing Power and Finding Your Innocence. Haha.
Oh, that's good. Plug it away, girl.
Yeah.
We'll put links to your book in the show notes too, so people can find it easily. And how about a guilty pleasure?
A guilty pleasure, it's stop being guilty, it's chocolate.
Oh.
I actually eat chocolate, my friend, so I'm good.
Chocolate's good for you.
Yeah. It's like anything over 70%, and, I'm good with the antioxidants. It's great, works for me.
Have you ever tried Lily's chocolate?
Yeah, and I have to say the thing is with the stevia, they're always cheating because it's not only stevia they have in their stevia, however you pronounce it, but they also do the artificial sweetener things, and they are laxatives, and they are actually detrimental to your system. So I honestly don't recommend it because it's not pure stevia, or then much rather go with coconut blossom. A coconut sugar thing that's better than do the stevia and the artificial sweetener combination.
So
honestly,
is it not listed on the label then?
It is, but you have to look real close. It's like the unpronounceable stuff at the end of the thing.
Oh, I gotta look at that. Okay,
right. And it makes I can tell because it kind of. It's a laxative, and like my body wants to reject it or get rid of it. So that's how I notice. And with stevia, I don't have that,
Yeah, I love stevia drops in my coffee.
Totally.
But I don't
for my lemonade. It's lemonade, it's stevia and lemon water. That's it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Lemon milk. Have you ever made that?
No.
You take, I use a full liter of water, a whole lemon, a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and a dropper of stevia, and then you mix it up, and then you strain out the pulp.
Oh, okay.
So good. Okay, next question. Sorry. Okay, do you have a favorite movie?
I'm not big on movies. The only time I watch is on a plane when I go to Europe or come back. So the last favorite one, I think I really loved Wonder Woman actually.
That was good.
And my favorite, and because I still want one of these dragons, is Avatar, obviously. I want one of these dragons. I think everyone should have one. They're environmentally friendly. You don't have an issue. They park themselves. I mean, it's just, it's great. They feed themselves. It's great.
And then we won't have all those EMFs.
Exactly.
Coffee or tea?
Both, mostly hot water, sometimes with ginger, but just a half of a cup in the morning of coffee. A little bit. And then sometimes I like dandelion tea here and there and ginger lemon. But mostly it's hot water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the ginger lemon. That's really good.
Yeah, the yogi tea. Yeah, they have a good one.
Great teas. And then how can people find you, my dear?
SuzannaJamieson.com. 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 Everything's on there. It's like my live weekend intensive that's coming up here in Ojai. If you want to meet, get to know me live and get like a really great overview and dive into my work intensively, is coming up here in September 21st to 23rd in beautiful Ojai. Highly recommend it if you're in the area. And you can see the flyer on the website. My book is on the website. I have a few free gifts on my website, like a masterclass that is free. I have some of my frequency healing. The card deck is a free gift for you, where there's also a vocal sample and information on how these frequencies work. So there's lots of goodies there.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm going to check that out too. So awesome. So thank you so much, my dear. It's like such a pleasure hearing of what you can do to help people improve their lives in so many ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And let's talk, and let me know if there's any way I can reciprocate. Okay?
Thank you. Wow, that was a great episode. I learned so much and am so inspired by Suzanna's work. If you want to learn more, please visit the show notes at highenergygirl.com/show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please head on over to iTunes, give us a rating and review. And as always, if you have a great guest that would be awesome fit for the show, please email me at Tracy with 2 E's at highenergygirl.com. Make it a great day. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.